what's been going on with you.
Off the field, Spencer.
But this is the most selfish you have ever been.
Well. Our little friend from across the pond made a surprise visit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lawrence Report. On tonight's broadcast, we're discussing episode 5 of All American. Yes, the friend I'm talking about, who we all was wondering, is it a boy or is it a girl? It's the one and only Ashley, and he is a man. Wow. But before I start, I'm going to give my ratings for this episode. For me, out of 10, this right here was a solid 8. Solid 8. Well, maybe 8.5. I'm going to say 8.5 for me. 8.5. But please be sure to drop your rating, with 10 being the highest. Tell me your rating on this episode. Let's get into it. Ooh-wee. Did y'all see the look on that boy Spencer James' face? Oh my God. Just look at that. That man is completely surprised at what is going on right now. He couldn't believe it. He's like, yo, this entire time, we've been in bed talking. You tell me about your friends. You brought up Ashley's name before. You never corrected me and said, oh yeah, by the way, Ashley's not a she. It's actually a he. And if it was a he, I think Spencer would have been like, oh, okay, cool. So what does brother do? Oh, he's into art. Oh, that's what's up. They say he's the next Basquiat. Okay, that's what's up. But because Liv held that information, this brother's face was completely speechless when he found out who Ashley really was. So, Ashley has finally arrived. We have been anticipating the arrival. We didn't know if it was a girl or if it was a boy, but it turns out it's a boy. And like Acoop said, this is little Idris. Little Idris has made his arrival to the Baker's residence. And yeah, I didn't know how Spencer was going to react, but he reacted like I thought he would, you know. And I got to ask y'all, I got a question for y'all. Was Olivia wrong for not confessing to Spencer that Ashley is indeed a boy? Now, we know in this episode, she talked about Ashley many times to Spencer. And he was like, well, you never corrected me and told me that, you know, he may have been a dude. Now, Spencer did not wild out like I thought he was going to do, but we know Spencer has been working on himself, right? So I was happy to see that he was kind of chill. He didn't go off the deep end, right? But at the same time, Olivia, you have, this is for anybody in a relationship, I think, you have to let the person know who you're with. You have to introduce them, right? Like, you just can't be out here, especially you're way across the seas. Like, I need to know who you're with. Women, if it's another female or if it's a man, me as a man, I would want to know. So another question I think I need to ask y'all, was Olivia emotionally cheating with Ashley? Y'all sound off in the comments, let me know. But as I was saying, you know, I love how I gotta say this too. I love how Spencer asked this guy here, yo, what's your pronouns, bro? Spencer was trying to check to see if this dude, you know, was he straight or is he gay? You know what I'm saying? He telling Spencer that, yo, you know, me and Liv, you know, we was out here wearing your jerseys and eating chocolate and watching you play. And Spencer felt some type of way. Our boy had too. I'm like, yo, you chilling with my girl. And on top of that, this man said, my Olivia. My Olivia. That I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of deep to me right there. Maybe I'm looking too far into it. Y'all let me know. But I'm just saying, Liv should have came clean to Spencer, especially with y'all getting back together, right? She should have came clean to Spencer and say, yo, I did make a good friend, a very close friend. It's a male by the name of Ashley, and I just want you to know. The main reason why Ashley came through from all the way overseas to here, he wanted to check on Liv, and to see how she's doing with the book, like the progression of the book. She's like, well, the next chapter that I want to write about, I want to include my mom But I'm scared that it is going to be that may could potentially open up a old wound. And I completely understand what Liv is saying. And I do believe, I can't give credit where credit is due. Ashley was there, I believe, to give Liv some transparency and to let her know that it is okay to write this book. I just think that he came in at the wrong time, but it's not his fault. It's actually Liv's fault when it came to him not properly being introduced to Spencer, or just Spencer knowing about who Ashley was, if it was a man or if it was a woman. But I can't give credit where credit is due. I do believe Ashley, he seems to be a genuine guy, in my opinion, right? But we do know this. When he got invited to the Vortex, right? That man Spencer, I'm sorry y'all, that man, he was going through it. Spencer was going through it. He looked pissed off. You could tell whenever he was at the dinner table, the way he was talking to Liv, he was trying to remain calm, but deep down, Spencer was offended. Deep down, I believe Spencer was kind of hurt about everything that was going on. Then you invite him to the Vortex. I mean, what's next? Is he gonna be on the cabin episode that's coming up? Like, is he gonna be invited to the cabin as well? You could tell the tension was there. Spencer just kissed Liv. He dipped. And Spencer, I don't know if he was upset about the movement of the book date and all that stuff that was happening with the book, all the changes that was happening with the book, or was he just upset that Ashley was a dude? Like, he was surprised, and I was surprised too. I was like, because I really didn't know if it was going to be a female or a male. But I think Spencer is right in his feelings. We saw at the end, Dylan was like, yo, you trust her? And he basically comes out and like, yeah, I trust Liv. Like, I don't think Liv was cheating per se, like a physical cheating. It may have been, and I could be wrong what I'm saying. It may have been like emotional type, cheating, like an emotional attachment that she didn't mean, again, that's just my opinion. She may not have been emotionally cheating at all, but that's just my opinion on that. But yeah, Spencer, he felt some type of way. He had every right to feel some type of way, I believe. We know Jordan, Spencer still continuing to beef. I'll be glad when they wrap up this right here. Either y'all gonna be boys or y'all are just going to be enemies. It is what it is, right? And we see, that there's a play that's being called, and Spencer's upset because the play didn't go his way. And then we got Coach Kenny, he's out. I think it was a family matter, right? So Mac is basically running the show. Mac is going to stick to the analytics and things of that nature, making sure that Jordan is in the spotlight, and also making sure that other players are involved. And of course, we know that Spencer cannot take that because he feels like every chance that he misses, like catching the ball or making a big play, that Heisman opportunity, that draft stock is all going down the drain. In fact, that man Spencer was completely wilding out. He ended up getting another player injured, and he basically got ejected. And Mac was like, yo, you gotta chill, bro, because you are literally messing up our chances. Let's talk about y'all other favorite relationship goal. I'm talking about the one and only Jordayla. Now, this episode right here kind of bored me with the storyline. I mean, Jordan was looking for a new roommate with this ocean house, beachfront. Layla is helping him do his thing and do his search, but he ended up finding out a couple that is kind of like a married couple from back in the day that they always arguing, but they still are very unique in their own way. But this storyline here kind of was boring to me. I'm sorry to say that. Nothing against the Jordayla fans or anything like that, but I'm just saying just a storyline in general to me was kind of boring. But hey, we got some screen time for Jordayla, and I wish Jordan and Spencer the best when it comes to finding a roommate, because living with roommates is not easy. I've been there. I've done that. everybody's different. It is not easy. You know, some people end up eating your food. You know, they're stealing your soap. You know what I'm saying? Like they're using your bath cloths. It's not fun. So maybe this couple will definitely be a good couple for Jordan. You know what, I can easily see Jordan and Layla doing plenty double dates if this couple sticks around, you know, but we shall see. And I haven't talked about this, what I'm about to talk about, period, really, but I'm going to talk about it now for the first time. I know that there's been rumors and articles that, you know, All American basically, you know, with the budget cuts that they're having at CW, that they basically could be having like another type All American, maybe something called like All American U or something like that, like a, you know, like a spinoff from what we have now. And, you know, I think they kind of already are planting that with this Dion kid, right? We see, you know, even with Preach and Grace, you know, Grace is with Preach and she tells Preach that, you know, they are about to cut Preach's out of school program, which was kind of spearheaded by Billy Baker, right? And Preach is feeling some type of way. He's kind of upset, but he has an idea, you know, that, well, Grace James could help him out and write a couple of grants for him. And she does actually do step up to the plate to do that because Preacher's like, yo, this is one of Billy's last things he wanted me to do. I can't let him down. So I love how he stepped up to the plate. And there are plenty of budget cuts that are happening across many Black communities. So I am happy that they talked about that, whether it's in high school budget cuts or college budget cuts. Dope for them, for the writers, for always doing that. And shout out to Dylan. Dylan rose to the occasion because he said one of his boys is going to be kind of affected by the budget cut. He even made Grace James famous lasagna. He's washing dishes. He stepped up to the plate and he became a listening ear for Spencer. So I love that right there. And also, I knew at the top that I talked about Dion, and Dion is going through a lot. You know, being a high school star athlete, the pressure can be mounting. Spencer James knows all about that, right? So I'm glad Spencer's kind of been playing this role of the big brother to Dion. But we know we also meet Dion's sister. Dion's sister is putting on a lot of pressure. She's talking reckless to her brother, and I didn't get that right there. I hated that right there because that was causing a panic attack for him. You know, having the pressure of being the star, but at the same time you got your family talking trash to you. Highly disrespectful, but I love how Spencer took him outside. They was on that sidewalk and they was talking. And, you know, Spencer kind of gave a nod to Dr. Spears, like, yo, this is something I used to do. Just help me clear my head right here. So I thought that in itself right there was dope. And even Dion told Spencer, like, yo, if you would never did this football thing in another life, you would have been a great, I think he said counselor or psychiatrist. I can't remember. It's one of the two. But either way, he said Spencer would have been good at that. So I think he put that little bug in Spencer's head that, you know, just maybe, you know, after I do this football thing, maybe I can go back and get this degree. That's what a lot of athletes do anyway, right? So maybe that's around the corner for Spencer. Now, let's get to Tamia, aka Coop, and Professor Laura Baker. Now, we know that Laura is basically teaching Coop and the rest of these law students, right? And before Coop even, you know, tells, you know, Laura how she wants things done, she lets her know that, hey, you know, you ain't got to treat me as a teacher's pet. You know what I'm saying? And Laura's like, well, you know, I wasn't going to do that anyway. I'm going to treat everybody with respect and dignity, right? But Coop is kind of bossy and disrespectful to Laura. And I didn't like that. I did not like how Coop was talking to Laura. And when they was in the classroom and they're going over this case file reminds Coop a little bit about what Patience is going through right now. And Miko, it's kind of like a mental trigger. And Coop was like, yo, out of all the cases that you've done, you had to pick that one? You couldn't pick some other case to teach us and stuff like that. And I understand where Tamia's coming from, right? Because I think that Laura could have picked another case, knowing that this could have been a mental trigger for Coop, and it was. In fact, she ends up getting into an argument with one of her fellow students, and Laura basically kicks her out of the classroom. But we know later on they make up, right? Because Coop understands that, yeah, she was kind of in the wrong. But still, even though Coop was in the wrong, I didn't like that case myself. I'm with Coop on this. I'm sorry. Laura easily could have picked a different case to teach the students, because this thing right here was a little bit too close to home, in my opinion. So yes, this was a, pretty good episode. I think, the main focal point was definitely Ashley. Everybody else of the storylines episode, I was like, but the main focal point was Ashley causing a disruption. He didn't mean to, but because it lived until Spencer felt some type of way, and I completely understand where Spencer is coming from, y'all. So that's my thoughts, that's my reaction on this episode, and as always, thank you for tuning in to the Lawrence Report.